Antarctica, the coldest place on Earth. In winter, temperatures plunge to -89 degrees Celsius. But decades ago, deep ground penetrating radar revealed something entirely unexpected. A geographic anomaly so massive, it forced researchers to question everything they knew about the frozen continent.
4 kilometers beneath this solid ice.
Buried in absolute, crushing darkness, lies a liquid lake the size of Lake Ontario.
It has been completely sealed from the atmosphere and the outside world.
For over 15 million years. The question wasn't just how the water remained liquid. The question was, did anything survive down there? To uncover the lake's secrets, a team of international researchers had to initiate one of the most difficult engineering challenges in human history. They needed to drill through nearly 4,000 meters of solid, punishing ice. But this wasn't just a matter of digging deep. It was a delicate, high-stakes operation. The immense pressure trapped beneath the glacier could force the ancient water to erupt violently, like a massive geyser. Worse still, a single mistake could permanently contaminate an ecosystem that had been pristine for millions of years. Because of these extreme risks, the drilling had to be completely halted multiple times. But finally, after years of agonizing patience, the deep ice sensors indicated they had reached the critical threshold. They were just meters away from an alien world, hidden right here on Earth. Finally, the drill breached the boundary. But to prevent a catastrophic blowout, they didn't pump liquid water directly to the surface. Instead, they allowed the highly pressurized lake water to slowly rise into the borehole and freeze naturally.
Months later, the team returned to extract this freshly frozen sample, known as accretion ice.
To ensure absolute zero contamination from the outside world, the core was hermetically sealed for transport. Inside ultra-clean laboratories, thousands of miles away from the frozen continent, the real investigation began. Researchers carefully sliced the ancient ice, melting it under the most strictly controlled conditions on Earth. Under the lens, the ancient, isolated water slowly revealed its long-held secrets. And what the scientists saw staring back at them would rewrite the rules of biology forever. For a long time, science assumed that extreme cold, a total lack of sunlight, and immense pressure But to be absolutely certain, researchers ran the melted ice core samples through advanced DNA sequencing. They meticulously filtered the data, ensuring they were not looking at modern surface contamination. When the final, verified results came back, the scientific community was stunned. The data was entirely unexpected. They didn't just find a few stray cells. They found the complex genetic signatures of thousands of different species. It was a hidden ecosystem of ancient bacteria and fungi, completely isolated from the sun. Against all biological odds, life had not only survived in this frozen, high-pressure prison, it had adapted. These mysterious organisms had been thriving in the pitch-black abyss for millions of years. But without a single drop of sunlight to fuel photosynthesis, how is an entire ecosystem sustaining itself? The answer to this impossible mystery doesn't come from above, but from deep within the Earth itself. Geothermal heat from the planet's mantle creates a continuous, subtle warmth at the very bottom of the lake. This geothermal energy keeps the water liquid, despite the sub-zero temperatures raging on the surface above. At the same time, the crushing weight of 4 kilometers of solid ice creates immense, uniform pressure. This extreme pressure actually lowers the freezing point of water, ensuring it remains in a liquid state. Without sunlight for photosynthesis, evidence suggests these organisms rely entirely on chemosynthesis. They extract vital nutrients directly from the ancient minerals dissolving in the lake's bedrock. It is a self-sustaining world that operates entirely independently of the sun and the atmosphere.
But as scientists solved the riddle of Lake Vostok, they realized this was just the beginning of a much larger revelation.
Lake Vostok is not an isolated anomaly. Satellite imaging has now mapped a vast, hidden network beneath the ice. Over 400 subglacial lakes are connected by deep, dark rivers flowing beneath the frozen continent.
A dark, interconnected aquatic world that remains almost entirely unexplored by human hands.
But the true implications of this discovery reach far beyond the boundaries of our own planet. If life can adapt and thrive under 4 kilometers of crushing ice, in absolute darkness, without the sun, our attention now turns to the frozen moons of our outer solar system. Specifically to Jupiter's moon, Europa, which hides a global, dark ocean beneath kilometers of solid ice.
What lives in the deep waters of Antarctica?
The file is closed. The mystery remains.